You're tuning in to Past Our Prime,
A show powered by Squad Locker.
Here are your hosts, retired Astros minor league star Tip Fairchild and former Patriots All-Pro center Dan Copen.
Here we go, people. Episode 23. I don't know. I always look over.
There we go, people.
Here we go.
Okay.
Not there we go. Here we go.
Yeah,
I always look over you at like episode. Like I need a reassurance. It's 23.
And you also give me eyes that are like ready to laugh. You're like, I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna laugh.
Yeah, I really don't like doing the introduction, but
you hate
hey,
it. You hate it. I'm gonna leave that job on you though for sure.
Episode 23. You just pointed out the Michael Jordan number.
Yeah, great.
One of the greatest all-time numbers.
I love number 23.
23 is a good number.
It's red on the roulette wheel.
We're right there. We made it past 22. Apparently, that was some type of deal. So I guess we can stay here another week. And there was a big day here at Squad Locker.
Big day. Jeez, I had a day today, everybody. Board meeting. So sales and marketing presentation today. Full house, by the way. Literally. I think we have both sides, the east and the west wing of Squad Locker are booming today. A lot of conversations, a lot of people around. Rhode Island's opening up a little bit, which is nice, so we can have more people in here. It's so much easier to collaborate this way.
It is.
I mean, it's so much easier. Like, we're getting more done, no questions asked.
So basically, I mean, everybody knows, like, if you're in business or whatever, you're going to communicate over some type of text thing, like Slack or whatever
Zoom.
else is. Zoom. Yeah, Zoom.
I'm about to delete Zoom.
I can't wait to bring somebody in. We're going to have Lonie Paxton is going to join us today. Long-time NFL long snapper.
Business mogul now, kind of. Lots of stuff going on.
He's a smart guy. He was a great football player, great snapper, one of those guys you could always depend on in the clutch to come through. Tuck rule game, Snow Angel, game-winning kick in 01.
3 Super Bowls?
Three times.
Yeah.
3 times. So he's a good buddy of mine. So we're going to chat with him in a little bit. But I would like to have somebody like come in. Wouldn't it be fun?
Well, Hennessy already Hennessy talking to him after the episode was like, I'm like 2 miles away. I just like come in now. And so next time we have him.
No, maybe we should just make him go Zoom because he's so close.
Just make him Zoom.
No, you're not allowed in here.
No, the other thing though, I know that Jake Hutt is coming out to Rhode Island May 26th, from what I've heard. So the weekend before Memorial Day.
From what you heard, or from what he told? Me. Okay,
yeah.
So I didn't know there was a grapevine, or there was a.
There could be like a Wednesday or Thursday golf match with him, and then maybe get him in the office.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
That'd be fun.
Yeah,
that'd be a good time.
He can really critique us how much we suck.
Oh, I'm hoping to get him out there for 18 holes because it's going to be. I'm going to bring a notepad. We might bring Max just video.
He said he doesn't play 18 a lot though, so
we'll drag him out there. We'll drag him out there for it. But board meeting in here, so I had to do my day job. Yeah, we did great. This company is like a rocket ship right now. We're rolling, so that was good. But board meetings are like my new big game.
No, I get it. Yeah.
So, it's tough to sleep the night a little bit before if you're trying to do like a certain presentation, make sure it comes out right. And, you got reports, and I do deep dives into the numbers. So like that type of stuff was going on. So a little light on the sleep last night. I fell asleep early, woke up at like 1 a.m, though, ready for the day. Which was really strange for me. I'm usually the other way around.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't. 1 o'clock, stay up for a few hours. My wife does it a lot, though, unfortunately, and I feel her pain. That's a tough way.
It's not my favorite way to do it, but for sure. But come in here, nice breakfast spread out, do a board meeting. Get through some of the jitters of it. It's like
do you get nervous?
Not really.
Do you get nervous?
No, because I don't get nervous speaking, so it's easy. It's more like, what acronym are they going to say that I don't understand? Are they going to say something that I'm like, oh shit, I don't know what that means. I'm going to have to make that up.
We don't talk like that here at Squad Locker. We do this.
That's
exactly. We call it this. Yeah. I think I'd rather I'd prefer if I'm given a speech or a talk, which I've done in the past. I get wicked, and I'm going to say wicked right now.
Ooh.
I think
that's a Maine word. That's interesting.
No, that's a Rhode Island word, isn't it, Max?
It's really it's New England.
That's New England. All right, because it's Mass too.
Yeah,
I get really nervous. I'm not. I don't think I'm a good
public speaker.
Oh, that's I think I calm down, but in the beginning, you can hear the nerves. You can hear my voice.
You get out of breath a little bit.
Out of breath. It's shaky. a little bit.
Yeah, it's because you're out of breath. You're not breathing right yet.
Thanks, Doc. Appreciate it. But I just feel like I'm just can't talk. Mm-hmm. So it's nerves. But then I sort of get into it a little bit. I much rather do question and answer.
Yeah. Got it.
What do you want to know? And I'll just tell you based on what I know, not making stuff up. Or
I'd rather actually be like surprised by the questions.
No, yeah. I have no problem with that.
Yeah, like if I know the question, then I can reherse for it. I'd rather just wing
Basically what we're going to do with Lonie.
That's what we always do with everybody. I didn't write one thing down.
Fly by the seat of our pants and just let's go.
That's how we go. So board meeting, Mayweather fight June 6th or something like that with Logan Paul or Jake Paul, one of those guys. That's going to be interesting. He outweighs him by like 60 pounds. But we're going to watch this together, I think. We should do a watch together.
When is it?
Logan Paul.
Is it Logan?
Yep.
Oh, it's the same guy that fought the other.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He's like beating people up.
Well, he's beating
nobody's up.
He's beating you up.
Well, I mean, I'd go
win?
in the ring. I'd go in the ring. If I trained, I mean, I'd get beat up probably, but like I'd throw a punch. I'd get one in there.
I think you'd go toe to toe with him.
Sure.
He's like
I think
us.
you would too.
Thank you. What do you think is going to happen with Mayweather?
Should we go toe to toe? Should that be the next challenge?
So this is a money grab. There's
50 million each of them.
No, what?
It's going to be like 50 to 100 for each of them.
No way.
Yeah.
Mayweather's amazing.
That's what
Mayweather is going to kick the shit out of him.
I think. I don't know. I mean,
there's no way Logan Paul.
Tiny.
Logan or Jake? Who is it? I don't even know.
Logan? Okay.
And because
Jake stole his hat.
Is he an Instagram? He's an Instagram star. Or something
YouTube.
Like that. YouTube.
Yeah. YouTube.
Does anybody watch YouTube? Oh, we do. Hopefully.
Yeah, we have a channel. Please subscribe. Rate, review, subscribe. Yeah, we have a YouTube channel.
That's right.
Have you ever put a view on? Have you ever put the thumbs
I have,
up button?
early
Okay,
on.
good. Well, let's continue.
I like to listen to it.
Yeah, I'm a listener too.
I don't like to listen to it because I don't like the sound of my voice, but I do listen to it, so I don't watch it.
Yeah. Well, we got to get the views up.
Mayweather is going to kick his ass.
I think so too.
He's 50-0, Olympic medalist. Gold medal. Like it's like
just absolute lightning punches.
It's like Brady versus Tebow. Who's going to throw the ball better?
You brought Tebow up.
Oh, I'm going to bring Tebow up
because Tebow's a tight end now for the Jacksonville Jaguars, right?
He's supposedly going to be.
He tried the baseball thing. That was a mess. That made so many people mad, like in the Mets and like every organization because he's taking a spot. This is a gimmick, which it was.
It was.
Yeah.
Does anybody in that organization have power to say no, get him go? Like DeGrom. DeGrom go there?
No.
Or does DeGrom doesn't even care?
No, because it's like whatever.
Did he ever have a chance of making it?
I never thought so. But like, I mean, he moved up, but like he just didn't seem like a baseball athlete. You know what I mean? Like he seemed like a robot out there. But
different build.
Speaking of robots.
What about a robot? What, you're just flowing into stuff left and right.
We're just segueing.
What?
Medina Spirit was not a real animal out there in the Kentucky Derby.
Oh, no. Let's. Yeah.
So
we can get into that.
Breaking news: the racehorse Medina Spirit wins a Kentucky Derby.
That we found out just recently.
Yes, we just found out, but you'll hear it in 2 days.
You'll know.
Yeah. We are breaking news here.
Medina Spirit is going to race.
Medina Spirit or Medina? Medina Spirit.
Well,
could be either one.
There's one consonant in between two vowels, so it's Medina. Medina.
Well, you read it off Google, but okay.
Well, I spelled it.
Okay, right.
You told me to spell it. You didn't tell me not to look at it.
Tested positive. Bob Baffert, huge scandal as always, kind of now. So we'll see what happens. It happens a bunch. It usually happens to him.
It's happened to him before.
Yeah, it's happened to him before.
Medina Spirit had, and let me just bring this up for you, 21 picograms. Do you know what a picogram is?
I don't.
Picogram is, I want to say, I saw it, it's like 1/1000th of a gram. So it's not a lot.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
So it's 20 hundredths.
Or 1,000.
So actually we can break this all the way down. It's 1/5 of a gram.
Okay. No, not hundredth, thousands.
20 thousandths.
1,000th is a picogram.
So 20 goes into 1,000 how many times? 500 times.
Yeah.
No, that's not right.
No.
500 times.
Doesn't seem right.
No, it's less than 20%.
50 times. 50 times. 20 goes into
1,000.
1,000. 50 times.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's 1/50th.
Zero.
It's 1/50th of a gram.
Okay. That sounds better.
As opposed to 1/5.
Can we get the quiz?
I was close.
Yeah, that was not close.
So 1/50th of a gram.
Okay, 1/50th of betamethasone.
That's math.
Do you want to
That's
spell?
picograms.
Do you want to spell? Do you want to spell betamethasone?
No, definitely.
Come
not.
on,
B-E-T-O.
betamethasone.
B-E-T-A.
Yep.
M-E-T-H-O-S-Y-O-N.
No,
Pretty close.
two letters. betamethasone.
Oh, there's
You,
me?
you threw a Y in there and an O.
Yeah, I was thinking that commercial mesothelioma
But apparently,
or something like that.
Apparently, they were using an antifungal cream,
Mm-hmm.
which is, I mean, probably pretty.
Normal.
If you got something, you're going to use it.
normal.
You're going to go to a doctor. You're going to go to a pharmacist. You're going to pick up a cream.
Yep.
This cream had some betamethasone in it.
Is this like elk antler spray? What's deer
No,
antler spray
no, no,
type
no.
stuff, though?
No.
Where it's like, it's not really used for fungus. It's used for steroids.
There was definitely spray. That was spray. I think Ray Lewis.
Deer antler.
Right? Wasn't Ray Lewis doing it? Or
Somebody
something
was.
like that?
And it was
Ray
like
Lewis.
supposed to be.
And then there was a cream. It was like an anti-inflammatory or something like that. And I don't think it was banned or anything. I don't believe it was banned because that smell that you knew when they put. I should have asked Lonnie this. We did pre-record the interview. We're going to play it, but I should have asked Lonnie because he probably would have known. There was this cream that you put on if you were injured. It was like an anti-inflammatory. No.
More than Tiger Balm.
It smelled so bad. And like people would get into the huddle and it would just be like, okay, who's got it on? Because it is almost.
So it wasn't Tiger Balm then?
It wasn't Tiger Balm.
Because that stuff had a pungent
It was
smell.
absolutely unbearable. So he put on this cream, antifungal. He's got some fungus. It happens. And he gets tested, which begs, I mean, that if that happens in the NFL, if it happens in major leagues, right?
50.
It
50
is-
or 80 games.
Obviously, the horse isn't putting it on him. It's the trainer, right?
Yeah.
The trainer would have to be responsible for what goes into the animal, right? Just like the player
Yep.
is responsible no matter what he puts in.
For what's going on in the body.
It might be from GNC.
Yep.
It might be from the doctor down in Miami giving everybody steroids.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Balco.
Whatever the
Balco Labs.
Doesn't even matter
Yep.
where it comes from. GNC, Balco, your responsibility. You're in trouble. But
Your body's a temple.
correct.
You got to know what's going into it. But the horse can't.
That's what I'm saying. The trainer.
Yeah. So it's on the trainer.
So they're gonna race. He's gonna race.
Racing the Preakness.
Medina Spirit.
I love a nice cloud over something like that. It gives it some drama leading into it, like the villain.
Oh yeah, but they're gonna talk about nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Is
this
it next week?
3 hours. Yeah.
I think it's next week. Yeah. Well, so hope he wins. Then it's a drama for the Triple Crown.
Yeah. They can't even go. Baffert can't even go back to Churchill Downs right now.
Oh.
Like I think he's banned right now for a while because it's a second offense with something picograms of something.
He's going to keep on picogramming it till he wins 10 more, though. That's how it's going to work. What else do we have? So the interview's coming up. Dan, we got something for the hockey crowd.
What do you got?
So Squad Locker,
Yes.
who we work for,
Yeah. Powered. This is powered by
Squad Locker. We got a new apparel line. It's great.
Oh, I'm actually wearing one of their T-shirts under this.
And I am excited for this one because we've been waiting for a big hockey line to come into play. And we've got CCM now.
Yep.
So the rink suits, the hoodies with the the hoodies with the hockey lace tie. Oh, you got the
I told
you stole that out of the bin, didn't you?
Someone had to try it on, see if the XL was a good
To
size.
see if it fits well. So CCM, it's fully customizable on the stores that we have,
Yeah,
right?
We just,
Direct to
we
player.
just dropped it on our line.
It's ready to go. It's my favorite hockey line, and we have thousands of hockey clients right now that we've been selling different stuff to that they still like. Now we've got it, okay? So hockey teams, hockey organizations, men's league teams, whoever it is, you're going to go to www.
Sublimated.
Sublimated uniforms, absolutely. .squadlocker.com/CCM. So it's www.squadlocker.com/CCM. No order windows. Direct to home. CCM product.
Never closes.
Let's rock and
I
roll.
actually like the thing. You'll find an edge you won't see anywhere else. Did you get it?
I did. So we have some smart marketing people here. So Stephanie and Erica, we're talking to you guys right now. Whatever you guys write here, just understand that we're never going to read it in full. But that was a great line that we both missed. Because Dan and I like to go off the cuff.
Yeah, I try and make.
And here's what we're going to do. We're going to do ads
funny
before we go into the interviews. So now that we read the ad, www.squadlocker.com/CCM.
Yeah, you'll find that edge you won't find anywhere else.
And on to the interview.
Here's Lonnie. Hey, everybody, we got a good guest today. He's one of my best friends. We spent a lot of time together over my course of career with the Patriots. We missed each other by 1 year in Denver, which would have been absolutely awesome to play with him for a few more seasons. But Lonie Paxton, a 12-year NFL veteran, experience in the NFL, and playing a position that doesn't get a lot of recognition all the time, but if you mess up in one of the big spots, it'll carry with you forever.
I'm assuming yes.
Right?
Yeah.
He's a long snapper.
Or it could be your last.
It could be your last.
That's a better way to put it. It could be your last one. That's right.
But you're from Riverside, California. You went to Sacramento State. How did you end up in New England?
Oh man, I'm the classic story of a lot of things just kind of have to happen right, for me to even be in a position to go to college, to go to the pros and all those things. And, growing up in Southern California, there's a lot of temptations. All my friends grew up dirt biking and riding, BMX bikes and getting into trouble and getting tattoos and just doing things that weren't really, positive, and so I'm running with a little bit of these circles, but I'm finding team sports is like my outlet to meet guys like you and to really have a team atmosphere, and the coaches really cared about me. And so pitcher playing baseball, and my dad had season tickets to the LA Rams, so we'd go in early and we'd watch the pageantry of the Frisbee dogs and the players warming up and the cheerleaders and all these things. And right there in front of us was the long snapper, and he was throwing just heaters, upside down to the punter. And I'm looking at this guy like, wow, that's pretty impressive that you can, throw that accurate between your legs. And so when it came time to, raise your hand in freshman football, like, hey, who can throw, who can kick, who can do this, and, who can long snap, I raised my hand, and I was able to apply how, learning to throw between the legs. And so I played quarterback. And I remember I threw a couple bombs. I mean, we sucked. We were like literally 0 and 11. We scored 4 times that year, and I threw 2 of the touchdowns for I scored 50% of our points. But one play, it was on 2, the center hikes it on 1 or whatever, and we fumbled it, and I jumped on the ball, and I broke his ankle. And they moved me to center that exact same play, so I never went back.
That's kind of a quick leash right there, right?
Yeah. Well, plus like you went from a team that didn't win any games in high school to an NFL Super Bowl champion. Like how I don't understand this role as much, because I asked Dan earlier. We just had a board meeting. We had a whole bunch of executives in here in the office, and we were talking about we had you coming on. And then everybody was like, well, why wouldn't you just snap the ball, Dan? And it's like a totally different skill, right?
No, I mean,
entirely different
Lonnie,
skill.
the answer was very simple. I can't do it. They tried it out one day in college at Boston College for me. I tried one day. I was throwing knuckleballs back there. I couldn't get the spin. And I don't even know if I'm flexible enough to do it, and he's really flexible.
No, you can barely tie your shoes. I mean, I don't even know if you could get down.
Well, he gave me a snap a couple months ago on a promo video we did. He snapped one snap to me, hit me in the ankle. Terrible snap.
I've been out of practice. He
said it was his third. Yeah. Only his third bad snap of his career is what he said. So I don't know.
It is true.
Yeah, I mean it's a commodity. There's only 32 of us in the league, and then you got a bunch of guys who think they can do it, or they love to come out and practice and attempt to do it. And I played offensive line in high school and college, and I took pride at being on the line. And I wore a 60s number in the league, so I could be next to guys like Dan and Light and all these other big time players. And that's just what they wanted me to do it right and stay silent, and you'll be around a long time.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like, can you have a really long career as a long snapper? And if you're great at it, right? You see some punters that will have a long career, right? Or a kicker that will have a long career. Can you have a long career with what you're doing? You're still getting beat up in there. You know,
12 years is pretty long.
Time,
It's the averages. There's guys who've played 18, 19, 20 years long snapping. And, to me, it's like you could never be the greatest long snapper of all time because you're just throwing it fucking 8 yards, 15 yards. You got to throw perfect. And if you don't, you're not around that long. So it's really about, producing in those, bad weather games and just being that piece of the puzzle that never gets, looked upon.
No, he said it. I mean, he wore the 60s numbers. He was around us. He was basically a part of the offensive and defensive line. He fit in with us so well. But the amazing thing is, like, we go through our practice, but you guys have to just drill over and over and over. And how important, that timing aspect, if you're not on the money, if you're late, if you're not as fast, whatever the case, that throws off everything. And those kickers are absolute mind cases. If it's off, Josh Miller
laces out.
Walters is one of laces out, Dan. You have to deal with these guys, so you're almost like a psychologist too, on top of all your practicing.
Oh, I was Dr. Phil a lot of the times because of that. I mean, you definitely, for me, it's like I got to get the laces perfect. I got to throw it on his right hip because he likes it there. The wind's blowing 30 miles an hour left, so I got to aim it out a little bit so it pops back into his belly. Some guys like it higher, some guys like it by their knees. But at the same time, I got to get my head up and actually try to block and be a part of the play.
It goes on. You have more to do than just snap it.
Right. So, once the ball's out of your hands, it's really, flip it and get to actually playing football. But yeah, like you said, a lot of those practices were just repetition over and over and over. And some guys, I remember Lee Johnson, this was before you got there, Cope. Yeah. He was probably in his 17th, 18th season, and I'm a rookie. We were playing the Chargers. I remember, they beat us our rookie year out in Foxborough or something, and he had a bad game. He goes home and he called Vinatieri the next morning and like, what'd you do last night? He's got like 8 kids, Mormon guy. He's like, I poked about 50 holes in my ceiling last night just punting in my living room because he was so pissed off. He's just puncturing massive holes. That's how neurotic these guys were.
Well, I'm guessing, too, it's almost if you're in a good mental state and the kicker, misses a kick. I'm wondering if you, Dr. Phil, where you're like, hey, man, that was, even though it was a perfect snap, you're like, hey, man, that was my fault, bad snap. Just so they maybe, go, all right, he took the blame on that, is that in his head?
Yeah, there's a little bit to that. It's a 3-man operation. So, maybe the snap was a little inside. Having some great holders would make me look good at a lot of times that, the laces come inside or you throw it kind of towards his knee and he would get that around. And you'd be surprised on how much, an inch or two, the ball inside, outside can affect the kick. So sometimes it might be complete holder's fault, but the kicker, gets the blame, but they also get the cover of Sports Illustrated when they make the kick. Yeah. No matter if it looks good or not. So
that's true. One of your famous things is the snow angel, right?
I think it's the number one Google thing when you type your name and it comes up all over the place.
The Snow Bowl, Oakland Raiders playoff game. Yeah. What was that? The
2001?
Not the butt fumble, but it was Woodson hitting on
that was the
Brady.
Tuck rule.
Yeah, the tuck rule game.
Yeah.
So I've heard the stories before of like, hey, I got to move back a half a yard more, and then I know I can get the laces perfect, right? Can you control that spin where you just know it's going back, or I need to rotate it a little bit more or faster? I know you practice. I know there's a science but can you control it that well?
Yeah. The science behind it is it'll probably rotate about 7.5 times in a short snap. So, if I'm holding the laces straight down, 7.5 times means the laces come straight up. Yeah. So that's the idea there. The operation itself should take 1.2 to 1.35 seconds. So it's really bang, bang, and so, that gives those guys on the edge a chance to, if it's 1-4, you got the guys like Russ and Ashworth on the ends, trying to clip these guys and they can get around the edge and block the kick. So, it's a game of inches and numbers there when you get down to that operation.
Do you call that your pop time? So in baseball, like a catcher has a pop time, which is from when the ball pops to the mitt to when it pops in the second baseman or shortstop's glove, to throw a runner out. That's what they call it. It's like everybody gauges it. They get the stopwatch out, pop time, 1.6, 1.8, whatever it is. That sounds like pop time because like 0.1 seconds over, you're in trouble.
Right. Yeah. Snap, hold, kick. I mean, it's just really just the operation, but then the punter would have a catch to kick. So actually, that's a science too, because our snaps are about 0.7 to 0.75, some slower 0.8, but catch to kick, the distance he's stepping and the time it takes him to step that distance and get the ball elevated could determine a blocked punt or not. So, that's what we said, all these guys are banging their bodies and we're over there filming each other, just like all these little minute details.
Stop
and I'm like, I'm so bored right now. I can't just...
How was meetings? How was meetings? Because I actually got in trouble one training camp. Gostowski, after our second session, then we'd go in and watch practice, but we'd have night meetings. Somehow Gostowski got to go home because he didn't really have night meetings. So my wife one time was like, "Hey, why aren't you coming home?" Because I see Gostowski's going home. I'm like, "Honey, I'm in meetings till like 9 o'clock, 9:30. At curfew at 11. I don't have time to go home." How much film can you watch on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's too much, I mean, as you can't sit there and, just beat a dead horse. You got to, at some point, just call it what it is and go work on it the next day. And so, a lot of the time, especially in training camp, I mean, that's when we had all of our kids, man. You get those extra time to go home in training camp. You know what happens.
I never got to go home.
Oh yeah, you had all your kids in the off season.
We did. We planned them out pretty good, I guess. I don't know.
Like it.
Well, how was it going from Sac State? Were you nervous your first game, or were you more nervous than the Super Bowl for the game-winning kick type thing? Oof. First game, Super Bowl, Snow Bowl.
Yeah, dude. I mean, going to the pros, I always just sat there. I mean, I'm still a fan of the pros, and when I'm coming at in college, that's when the 49ers were big out there and the Rams had just, I think, won the Super Bowl and there was a lot of I think our first preseason game, me and Brady rode the plane from, I think it was Minneapolis to Providence, like literally our mini camp. And our first preseason game is the Hall of Fame game against the 49ers, a team that he grew up idolizing and I grew up hating because I was an LA Rams fan. And so I could just remember like the first play I went in of a horrible preseason game. It was just crazy. Like it was, my head was exploding and my family's in the stands and his family's in the stands. And, you fast forward and yes, it's a little stressful in playoffs. I mean, me, dude, I try to not think of the what ifs of things because that can just kill you. But in the Super Bowl or in the snow game, you're snapping in 6 inches of snow and there's 25 million people watching at home. And, you have the hearts and the past kind of demons of Patriot lore, people just like expecting you to get there. And I remember going home that night and had a line of people outside of my house in Foxborough just waiting to give me a hug and say thank you. It's just so cool.
I gotta imagine like when, me or the other offensive linemen or the guys that are playing, majority of the snaps, let's say, right? You go out there, you snap the ball, and you sort of get into the flow of the game. As a long snapper, as a specialist punter, kicker, your mental strength has to be probably that much higher because you're not going in as often. So every time you go in, it's kind of like a new, fresh feel to the game almost.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously had to watch, your guys' progress on second and third downs to know whether I'm going to punt or go in for a field goal, and then I would throw a few on the sideline and I'd get ready and then first down and I'm kind of back waiting again, and so it is kind of this like roller coaster of emotions. I remember just being so spent mentally after games, especially in cold weather, you're just trying to really concentrate on the details because, you throw a bad snap in a bad weather game, it's just you could be packing your bags the next day.
He's got a good story and on how accurate he is. He bet your boy. Tip is a very big Tom Brady fan.
Well, I'm from New England.
Very big.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say.
Who isn't?
I also was going to tell you though. You were in. You probably didn't. There wasn't a whole lot of punts. during your time frame where you were with the Pats, and then you played for the Broncos, so you played with great offenses. So there were punts, but there were probably guys that played your position that were doing it 2 or 3 times as many times a season, right?
You'd be surprised. There were some of the early days that were still, grinding it out. And Bill is such a strategic guy that he would punt in like we're at the 38-yard line where potentially you could make the kick, but he's just going to punt it away because of the scenario. So you get a couple more, punts on the game. But that 07 year, that was a lot of PATs.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a brand new offense for the Pats, bringing in Welker and Moss. You're right. We were grinded out in the beginning a little bit. The one snap, but tell Tip.
What's the story first? You took me down the Brady path.
Tell Tip the bet on him throwing it versus you snapping it, because this is absolutely amazing on how accurate he can be.
Yeah, because you're basically throwing the ball upside down.
Yeah, we had a few of these, and a couple of them were, after hours, with the big crew. One of them was at Dave Matthews concert, and we brought a signed football for him, and we were playing in the back room and waiting to meet the band and stuff, and they had these carriages of that all the waters sit in the little cardboard part. So we set it up across the room, and it was like, oh, I bet you can't hit it. I bet you can't hit it. And, we had about, a dozen adult beverages prior to us, throwing these things around. And you have like 16 tables in the middle. So it's set up for people. But I went on one side and we set the box up at the other side, and Brady missed it, 3 or 4 times, and it's the signature ball. So it's not a great ball, and it's right out of the box. It's all slippery. I said, Brady, I bet I'll freaking hit that between my legs. So and he bet some money on it. I get over there, and everyone's standing around, and just perfectly over the tables, over the chairs, and whack, smacked it in front of everybody. And literally the band was walking in, and he just wanted to put his tail between his legs.
Dave Matthews.
But yeah, the one
nice.
Copen's talking about was in morning. The kickers, punters, snappers, and quarterbacks used to work out at 7:30 in the morning. And there's those big nets that have the holes in them that quarterbacks use as targets. And he was missing it, and I'm talking shit. I'm like, Brady, I bet I could hit that between my legs, man. I'm more accurate between my legs than you are overhand. He's like, bet, so I hit it from about 25, 30 yards, which is much longer than a long snap. And then he bet some more money on it because he was pissed. And I said, all right, I'll, double or nothing type of thing. And I hit it. And so of course he's extra pissed now, and he goes and he raises it to, $5,000 or something stupid. And, and I was like, well, I'm not going to pay you if I miss this because I didn't make that bet. I'll just take 0 or I'll 100. I'm not as rich as you. And I nailed it. And there was probably, 25, 30 college coaches who were just there kind of watching these workouts. They were guests or whatever. And I put my shirt over my head and was running around in the bubble and stuff. And he paid me. I had a nice fat envelope the next day full of $100 bills, which was much useful.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I don't think that's the problem when you go to the casino or even go to the Derby, which we can get into with Medina Spirit and what's going on with that horse. But you don't bet the guy that has unlimited funds.
Oh, no. Because that person
he just keeps coming back and puts it down until he wins.
Yeah, that's playing chicken. Yeah, because that person will keep on going. It's not as deep of a pocket. But, Medina Spirit. So, I learned a little bit about you last week because Dan said, you got these bets that we do, we kind of got like a long shot Lonie bet, I'm assuming that's kind of your nickname down there with the crew. Who were you betting on? And then now we've got drama in the Derby streets, which I usually love. I like the whole horse racing game. So, who are you picking, Lonie, down there? So, are you going are you like a 25-1 guy where you're like, we're going on this horse? He's a mutter, his mother was a mutter type thing.
Yeah. This year I picked every single loser. Unfortunately.
Yep. Tough one.
I think. So I probably would have. I think everybody did.
Yeah, I probably would have had better luck having side bets of who's going to come in last.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have scored there, but I'm typically around that at 25, 30 to 1, kind of like the name. I mean, Copen saw me at the line. He's like, how do you know? I'm like, I don't know. I look at the number. I add 2 points because I usually put 100 or 200 on it to win. And then it's easy math for me. I don't have much thinking to do.
Yep.
Yeah, you
I
get
like
those.
that.
You get those boxes. You get the trifectas. It
Well, it
gets
adds up.
complicated
Once you
a
start
little bit.
boxing bets,
But if
it's
you
like,
just got
oh,
a few
shit, that's
horses in
expensive.
it and they're paying 25 to 1/3, that's actually kind of more fun way to do it.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I was curious. I mean, now that this whole disqualification thing happens, I remember throwing my tickets, when we left there that night.
It was 2 years ago, wasn't it? 2 or 3 years ago? Oh, God.
Had to go back
can
and
they
get
go back on the They can't go back
didn't-
on the
didn't-
tickets.
No, they had to go back. And 2 or 3 years ago, they had to go back. And this horse, I forget the horse's name, but he bumped the other horse and took him off his path. So they waited about an hour till after the race to announce the winner.
You guys already
We're
left.
on the bus. We're rolled up. Everybody thinks they lost. And then this horse gets disqualified. People got the winning ticket on the bus. They're going apeshit.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
That's interesting.
I would have never kept my ticket either. I didn't win, but just like this last weekend because of the drugs and all this stuff of the horse. And like, what happens to the guys who, now this horse gets disqualified. The guy who came in second, he wins the Derby. Does that affect the rest of the lines or odds? I don't know.
Is that horse run? Is Medina Spirit running in the Preakness now?
No, I think they were going to. They were
Withdraw.
They were delaying the post positions where they draw the post positions.
Yep.
Just until the hearing got over to see what was going to happen, but I don't even know if they know what's going to happen yet.
That's interesting. So, how many have you been on the trip? 10, 12 years too? Because you're right before Dan. So
he went before everybody.
Wow. So you're the real early. First Super Bowl early.
You were Smarty Jones.
Yeah. Smarty Jones was my first year. Yeah.
What you know about Smarty Jones?
Yeah. I think we still say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those things, we kind of came in the league at the same time and we have these little nucleus of friends and guys like Copen and other guys who came in a couple years after us. And it's super special now, knowing that we have this like tight kind of text chain and we go on this one trip a year. And when will it end? Who knows? But just, enjoy it while it's here. And it's stories forever. I mean, I came home and I went to my kids' football practice, and I got like 10 of the dads come just walking over, wanted to ask me questions about how cool it was, how fun. But it's a great group of guys. And, Copen can tell you it's like we've never left each other every time we see each other again. So it's pretty fun.
Yeah, I mean, that's what this whole podcast is about. That's what we talk about, where it's like every time you talk to like one of your buddies, whether it's football guy or baseball guy that I'm talking to or whoever, it's like you could not talk to somebody for 10 years, right? Or you could just be texting with somebody for 10 years. I mean, I'm still on group texts from guys I played baseball with 10 years ago, right? And it's like you never – if you saw them again right now, it's like you just came out of the clubhouse together. Or you just got off the bus together or whatever. It's that weird, like being involved in a team feeling that not everybody has, and if you guys have that group, I bet, by the way, I was telling him this, that group's going to go for as long as that group's around. That's just kind of how those things feel like they work, where there'll be years that it doesn't happen, but like, then there'll be like some rallying thing where in 15 years, you guys are going to go to the Derby again. Like I guarantee it.
Yeah, it's crazy because I have like a similar text chain with my friends from college, and those are the only two, the Patriots and the college guys. Yep. I went to Denver for 3 seasons, a little bit in an off season, and we don't correspond like that, or I spent 7.5 years at GoPro. We really don't correspond like that, but the Patriots and my college guys are always in touch.
GoPro. I mean, this guy was Mass Sports Media, basically Mass Sports Director. Correct, Lonie?
I was the head of global sports and entertainment. Yeah.
So if you see all those NHL videos from GoPro or the football videos, that was this guy doing. Some of those videos that the NHL players do are insane, and you can really actually get up close and see how their abilities are just unbelievable. How was the transition? I know my own story, and I've sort of shared it a little bit. How was the transition post-football?
I didn't have time to really think about it because it happened pretty quick. I got cut in August. I went for a tryout in Washington. I almost hoped I didn't get it because I was just like not really into it. I wanted to kind of kickstart that next part of my career. And then I was hired by December for GoPro, and
that's quick.
I was always the guy in the locker room with the swag or the Red Bull fridge, or like
you had a lot of friends. You were a networker. You were a networker.
I'm a guy who knows a guy, right? And so that's basically what marketing is just you kind of you have all these things and you seed them to people, and you just kind of evangelize the product or the brand or whatever. And old friends from Red Bull went to GoPro and said, hey, we want some of that experience and network to come here. And so they kind of created this role for me, which was just team sports marketing manager at first, and then started, with a little bit of a budget, a little bit of product, and put together deals like NHL, Real Madrid, Monday Night Football, John Gruden partnership, PGA, and slowly developed a team. And for the last 5-6 years, traveled the world. I mean, I did India, Brazil, Australia multiple times, Taiwan, China, Japan, South Korea. I got to go all over these places, creating content with celebrities and athletes on a global scale, and then really learn about social media production, content management, and creative ways to market, and which is really helping now with what I'm doing. So it's it's another blessing. I took the first opportunity out of college to go to the Patriots, and no signing bonus and a plane ticket, and they were the first ones to want me. I wanted them, and GoPro was the same way, and it paid off.
Yeah, I like that. With we've 2 GoPros in here right now, so plug the GoPro. No free ads though, but that's how we do it. I have a question about GoPro, and this is right off the cuff, Dan. So these are always the good ones. When you watch videos now, like I don't know if it's like a new version of a GoPro or something, but it feels like it's like hovering over the people, or it's like somehow surrounding them. Max is a drone guy, so you know about this too, Max. Am I right on that? I mean, I'm gonna ask Lonie, but what is going on with that
drone?
Thing?
It's a 360 camera. So it's the GoPro. It was called Fusion. Now it's called Max, and they make other ones like Insta 360 and some of these, but it has a lens on both sides. So, you'll have a lens on this side, lens on that side, and it stitches it all together. So the only things that you will kind of see blur is right where the 2 lenses come together. And the further you stick it out, you have some sort of like huge selfie stick type of thing, then it almost looks like a bubble. And then if you can swing it or whatever, it simulates a drone. So there's some really cool techniques. I mean, with the NHL stuff, the guys would get so crazy, and they put a puck on the end of like this selfie stick with the little gyro, and they spun it, and they put the camera up close to it, and then he just skated really fast into the goalie's glove. And for that 1 second in the video, it looks like the GoPro's on the puck. Yeah, and so it just takes the viewer to these other places.
Is that what you're thinking up during that time, or is that production people or whatever? Hey, let's just try this.
Yeah, we'll go to dinner at night and have a couple cocktails, and just like, well, what can we MacGyver tomorrow to get get the shot? And that's the beautiful thing about a GoPro is you have this movie production capabilities in this little tiny form factor, and that was what was so cool about the brand, was that you could do so many things with this little tiny capture device.
Yeah, it's when you see the people like the cliff divers and stuff.
But they're holding a stick, right? They're not holding it in
That's
their
what I'm
hand,
saying.
right?
I can't tell. It's like it looks like it's almost somebody flying a drone like right beside him.
Have you jumped off a cliff with one?
Are you an X-Sports type guy? No, are you a speed guy?
I snowboard and
he can BMX. And he used to have a dirt track in the backyard.
I'm probably about a 30-40 foot max on my cliff diving. I ain't going in any higher than that.
Yeah,
but some of these things,
I'm at 5.
They have
diving board height.
Swim, so it's fine. But some of these things, like I said, they just have these contraptions. Like in the videos you've probably seen, it could be a guy throwing the GoPro, and then it just follows him down, and it has a floaty on it, so it's not going to sink. So as soon as he hits the water, it's just floating there like a little bobber. Yep. And you don't get the shot the first try, so you got to keep doing it. And it's a little bit of movie magic. It's a little bit of just getting creative with it.
Yeah, that's cool. I didn't realize that you were there so long. That's fun stuff. Like when you're in the NFL. Did you get 3 or 2? 3 Super Bowls?
3.
Yeah,
3.
So he got the one right before you, right?
Yeah,
the year before, because you came in 1 year into the Super Bowl run.
Correct.
Right? Yeah. So 3, that's nice.
His first 2, first 2 back-to-back.
That's right.
Well, but he's got back-to-back and +1, so that makes it better, right?
Yeah,
I'd rather have 7.
Yeah, well, you probably should.
Oh, he should probably have a few more,
probably
too.
true. Both of you guys, that's right. It's okay.
I'd like
take
to
the 2 or
have
3.
the 07. I'd trade in my first one for the 07. That one hurt.
We don't talk about 07 on this podcast. Yeah. Every time I brought that up, Dan has left.
I think we talked about it the first time. It's like, okay, this is the one and only time we're going to talk about this.
The first episode.
So let's just get the shit out of the way, and then we'll move on. Is there one thing you'd like to have back besides that one? I mean, that one's a given, but like one snap.
You know, it's funny. I never had a bad snap my entire career, and then I went to Denver, and I was sitting in a meeting room, and Josh McDaniels was like, "All right, guys, we've compiled this team of players who can do all these things and do them really well and do their jobs a lot." And he went down the list, and he's like, "Lonie Paxton came from New England with me, and he's never had a bad snap." I was like, "Shit, dude, you just jinxed me."
Yeah, that's it.
So, so then, you know, they make me a captain against the Patriots. So now I go out in the middle of the field with, I don't even know if TB was there. It might've been like Slater and a couple other guys.
No, because he never went out to the middle of the field. Never.
Slate didn't?
No, Tommy never went out to the middle of the field.
Oh, Tommy didn't, but I think it was Slater and a couple other guys. But anyways, that game, you know, I think it was a PAT, and Vince Wilfork, you know, he comes up, he's like, "What's up, LP?" And I was like, I try to not talk because I have one job and I just want to do it right. And of course, I like double clutched the ball, and he picks me up and he slams me like 8 yards back, and you couldn't do anything because it was an extra point. But then I saw him at the Derby the following year. I was like, "Dude, what? I mean, why'd you have to do that to your boy, man?"
Yeah.
So that was that one, but nothing crazy. I mean, other than that, I mean, I think we got screwed in the
you
Colts
haven't had a
game.
bad snap. You just double clutched one time.
That's a good feeling. You had like a clean
Well, I double
career.
clutched it, and then I threw it. I think Cole quit, like pinned it. It went, you know, it could have been better, but that was the bad one.
I was going to actually say, like, have you ever been in a situation where you're like, "Oh shit, I'm not supposed to be here right now," where it's like bad snap or something, or, you know, punter drops it and now you're like scrambling, you're like trying to block or do something. Like, have you ever been like so out of position that you're like, "Shit, I'm just supposed to snap the ball between my legs, but now I'm somewhere else on the field where I'm not supposed to be," you know?
No, that happened to me a few times at my house. The punter and the punter and kicker came running to my house fully clothed for practice. We're like, "Where are you?" And I'm sitting there sleeping. And I'm like, "Dude, the schedule says it's not till 1. And they're like, "No, we're on the field in 10 minutes. And so I got fined, and they were expecting to find some sort of carnage at my house, but it was just me sleeping.
Yeah. That's a bad feeling. I missed a team meeting that my rookie year the one time when I was living in North Attleboro. Oh, that is when Light or Russ are calling you, and it's like 8:15. The meeting started at 8, and then you have to drive as fast as you possibly can up Route 1. And then you go through the building hoping Bears isn't sitting there on the left. When you walk in, that's a bad 15 minutes, I got to tell you.
There's no other way to, like, go in.
No other way. You've got to go by the guy who basically is going to tell you if you're cut, fined, or suspended, or whatever the case.
That's trouble. You got a Legends hoodie on there. That's a Legends brand hoodie, right? Is that what you're wearing today?
Yeah.
Great
those
brand.
Guys.
Great brand out there. Is that a Cali brand? That feels like a Cali brand.
Yeah, I mean, it's started by a former lacrosse player, and then Willie's involved. Matt Barnes is involved. They got a handful of like shareholders that are former athletes or entertainers or whatnot. And at Knocking Point, we're going to make a limited edition gear with them because we just launched a wine called Game Time Wine, and so we're going to put Game Time because they're obviously a sports brand. So we're going to do some branded swag with them.
Yeah, tell us about Knocking Point.
Yeah, so I mean we're past GoPro, and now
we went Super Bowl champion, GoPro, two really cool things. Now what's Knocking Point? We going 3 for 3?
Yeah,
here?
so now I'm advising for a handful of brands, and you know, obviously I got laid off in last April due to COVID, and the world's caving in. You're looking at my 4 kids and my wife of just like what's next, and obviously all the bad news and stuff, and so it took a few weeks to kind of get over it, but. I had a lot of inbound requests to partner up and to have me come and advise them on whether it's make a connection to an athlete or celebrity that they're looking to pay and want to bring into their brand, or it's more heavily involved on a project basis. And Knocking Point was a guy who actually used to go to the Derby It's co-founded by Stephen Amell, who spent 8 years as the lead on the show called Arrow. He played like a TV superhero. Him and another buddy of his, who that's how our connection, his name's Andrew Harding, started it just like one's from Walla Walla, one's got a big social channel, and they started it kind of at their parents' house. And, you know, they sold a couple hundred cases in an hour when they first made wine. And they're like, wow, we think we could probably do this. And so fast forward 5, 6, 7 years, Ashton Kutcher's on the board of directors now. I'm running strategy. We do celebrity collaborations and we do brand collaborations. So if you're a celebrity, and we did one with Teddy, you know, you get to pick the wine, you get to pick the label, you get to call what you want, and then we sell it DTC to our 300,000 customers. And it's been crushing, and we're on a rocket ship right now. There's only 5 or 6 full-time employees in the company, and just brought on some really cool investors from former AOL days and some sports gurus and stuff. So it's pretty fun to be a part of, and it's really just leveraging what I did at GoPro, which is content, celebrity and athlete relationships. And I mean, we just got a phone with Olivia Culpo and got some other brands that want to collab with us. So it's been pretty fun.
Rhode Islander opening a restaurant in East Greenwich, where we're at.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So is it just self-branding, or can you actually buy like a Knocking Point wine, or do you have to go, or can you go like, or does it have to be Brewski or a Kutcher or something like that?
No,
and then you got
the wines.
FU 2020 or something one too that I see a lot.
Yeah, we did a quarantine wine with Ashton and Mila that sold 120,000 bottles in the month of April last year, and donated $1 million to COVID relief. So that kind of got a lot of PR and movement in the media. And then we followed up with a sparkling rosé at the end of the year called FU 2020, and sold like 60,000 bottles of that all online, just because of the great name and stuff. And but we have our heritage wines. The two founders come up with the name. I mean, there's one called Pink Wine for Dudes, and there's one that's just it's called Dirt Bag, and it's a fun, you get to get creative. So it's. Do
you drink wine? Because I remember Crown.
Really cool. I'm definitely not a wine expert.
Yeah, I remember Crown Royal being in the mix.
Crown. Tito's, but yeah, wine's on the list now too.
Well, what we're learning is the football guys are the wine guys. Yeah. We had Will Blackman on too, who's like, we got to have him tasting your stuff. Yeah. He's like a sommelier.
There you go. Good job.
Nailed it, right?
Yeah.
We didn't pronounce that once right the entire interview, but he has a pretty cool thing with that too. So he was saying he was twirling the glass during that episode. It was unbelievable. We thought he was going to shatter it.
It was above our level.
Way above our level. We just want to. Well, Dan actually tried to open a bottle, and he was it was a twist off. He was trying to use a corkscrew. If
someone hands you a bottle and a corkscrew, I am not checking the cap to see if it's a twist off or not. I'm just assuming it's a cork in it.
I came back in here. He's got the thing into the metal top, trying to pop the bottle.
That was a bad day.
Twist off. Yeah, yeah. So you sent some stuff to him.
I connected with Will. I connected with Will recently. So
yeah.
Well, on the lines of the donating $1 million for COVID relief with Knocking Point, the other brand that you're associated with is KindHumans. I have a hat. I think it's
a cool hat. Yeah.
Kindness matters, right?
Kindness pass it on.
Kindness pass it on. Mm-hmm. So cool. Trucker hat, you'd love it.
Yeah, I can send you guys some swag. It's a great just message in the world we're in, right? And so. It's a sustainable marketplace. It's kind of coined your marketplace for good. And so it's a place you can come and find vetted products that are sustainable to the earth and good for you and kind of sourced responsibly. So the marketplace is kind of the revenue driver, and it was started by number 4 at GoPro. So when he left after the IPO and I got released, he kind of brought me on and do the same thing, just help build community, help make some collaborations. We did a collab with my guys at Melon over here. We did a wine with them, the Kindness Pass It On wine. Sold a bunch of, sold like 10,000 bottles last year of that, all donated to some great causes. And then we tell stories about people doing great things and passing kindness on. And some of these guys do such amazing work, whether it's their product development or people they help, but they never get that kind of that promotion that they need. You know, sometimes people want to do great things and not, you know, feel like it's about them. It's and they don't want to talk about it. But we're trying to change that and actually raise these people up and help, you know, bring what they're doing to light.
So KindHumans, you go on, you can order a hat, you can order a T-shirt, and some of those proceeds will go to a charity, and you can actually choose the charity that you want it to go to.
I saw some of the hats on your Instagram. I like that. We're gonna have to do that.
That's
we'll
good.
do that right after
it is a good trucker hat, no doubt about it.
Also, that hat
and by the way,
now.
he has a badass truck. Is it truck, van, minivan?
It's a Nissan passenger van, but it's lifted. It's got big old wheels. It's got a rack on top, and it's wrapped. It's on my Instagram. It's wrapped in KindHumans, and it has kind of messages of kindness on the back. And it holds 12 people, man. I pack my kids in there. They jump out. It's like they're just saving the world every time they jump out of the van. So it's amazing.
And you said you have the melon hat on. So, like, really what I've learned about Lonie is my Instagram hats. So, everything. So, Legends.
He's where your money's going.
I have 3-4 pairs of Legends shorts. Unbelievable. You get the melon hat. That hat is like the best fitting hat ever, especially backwards. It's a killer backwards hat. So, what else? I mean, like, Tommy John underwear? Like, what other stuff do you have? Because, like, right now you're rattling through my Instagram feed.
I'm more of an Under Armour underwear guy, but you know, my boys at Ethica always send some good stuff.
Yep.
You know, if it ain't free or discounted, I don't even do it. So
you're a coupon code guy.
And
that's a way to live life.
Yeah, coupon code.
Well,
guy.
I mean, being in marketing, that's the trade. Is, you know, I've given thousands of GoPros out, you know, when I was there, and you know, used to trade tickets for things, although you're not supposed to. But like the relationships you build, you know, just bartering this for that, and oh, if you need to come here, I'll hook you up. I mean, those types of things are paying dividends nowadays, and so I've become friendly with a lot of the brands that I like because of, you know, the trades and the exchanges.
Nice.
I love it.
That's
I mean,
fun.
NFL, like, hey, we're going to teach you about life after football. We're going to set you up with some financial advisors, classes, all that shit means absolutely nothing when you're playing.
No,
but he, you know, it's networking. It's who you know,
Yeah, it's
and
getting
you
into
know,
business somehow.
And
like
how
after.
can I maneuver, and how can I help you, and how can you help me, and how can we develop that relationship, which is kind of cool. I didn't do that as much as Lonie did at the Pats, but to see you go and just flourish, that's really cool, man.
Definitely, and you guys, like, you know, you're too young to not do anything after, even though, you know, you may not have to, you may have to. It's like too young, like you want to go do cool stuff. So why not work for GoPro for a while? Why not do Knocking Point? Why not work for Squad Locker, right? Yeah. It's like, if you can have fun doing it, it's a way, it doesn't feel like work anyway, right? That's the way we look at it.
Yeah, I agree. And in fun industries where you still get to, you know, kind of leverage your relationships and your credibility and your expertise and you know, having a couple rings helps. You know, but once you get past the hardware, they figure out we're regular guys just looking to have fun and do fun things.
Less travel now? Less travel other than GoPro, I mean, so you can spend some time with the fam?
Flight. Yeah, that was the first flight I got on since COVID hit, was to come out to Miami and take the plane up into Kentucky. So it wasn't a bad experience. I just haven't had a reason to do it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I'm on the road usually at least once or twice a month, and I haven't got on a plane since COVID. It's crazy. So it's like American Airlines keeps sending me the hey, we're continuing with your you know, platinum rewards, and like and like, hey, you still have the Admirals Club, and I'm like, yeah, I haven't been in the Admirals Club and had the nice hummus and hummus and carrots and, you know, the little snacks that they have. I haven't been in there for a year and a half.
You don't need hummus in there.
I usually grab the Rice Krispie treats.
Oh my goodness.
Favorite Gatorade? We got to ask everybody. That's our question that we ask. What flavor Gatorade?
Oh man, I'm a hardcore blue guy. The blue.
Not one of the originals, but not a bad answer. Would you say original.
That, Dan? But you know what I am a fan of?
Yellow?
Is the canned Gatorade. Canned Gatorade. When I got to Foxborough, it came in cans, and they were so good. For some reason, they tasted colder.
Cold.
I don't know why.
It's the cold feel.
But yeah, the aluminum does something to them. So we only had the three colors: green, yellow, and red.
Why do people call it green? It's not green.
It's yellow, but it's is green.
Yellow, red, and orange. Those are the original.
Lemon lime. So they say green because it's lime.
Lemon lime. Yeah. You're right.
It's yellow.
No, it's just because you don't like it. It's fine.
Are you sure
so we learned blue.
Are you sure that wasn't a protein shake from Gatorade? in the can?
No, it's regular Gatorade.
No.
I don't remember them in a can.
I remember
Yeah, it
because we
was.
used to get this was in 2000. And I think we got paycheck deducted for them like 25 cents a can. Like they were cheap back in the day. They were making us pay for the free shit.
That's bad.
No way. I can't even. That's amazing.
Well, I just got out of a board meeting. He's got a big meeting to go to.
No, I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it.
You can check out Lonie at Lonie Paxton, LoniePaxton on Instagram. Anywhere else, Twitter, or is it Instagram the thing now?
Actually, I bought the handle makeshithappen.com. So you can go there and you find my LinkedIn.
All right, let's do it.
How'd you get that
Makeshithappen.com.
one? That's a good one to have. That must have cost a couple bucks.
I've been buying up some URLs just to do it. And I thought I've always been saying that. And I was like, I want this one. And I bought it. And
How much did it
people have
cost
already
you?
been trying to buy it off me.
How much did it cost you?
I think it was like $1,200 plus some admin fees, but I've already been proposed to buy it for triple that, and I'm not going to sell it.
Yeah,
one day I'm going to
good
put some
one.
swag on there.
That's a whole industry, you know.
Hey, I know
People
who
do
I know,
that all the time.
I know,
Like they-
I know
they
who
buy
can.
up
I know
domains
who
all
can
the time.
decorate the swag.
Yeah, we can definitely do that.
Yeah,
for
we
you.
can handle the
We'll
swag.
send you a coupon code so you can buy some stuff for free though. We don't give the little
love it.
5% off. We give the full boat discount.
I love
for
it.
All right,
man.
brother. Hey,
Appreciate
thanks for
it,
joining
Lonnie.
us today.
All right, boys.
Dan
Thanks for the time.
will see you again in a year, I guess. He'll see you
It doesn't
down
matter.
there
It
in
doesn't matter. We
Kentucky in a year.
just go right into the same old, same old
same
thing.
old deal.
I'll FaceTime you. I'll FaceTime you from the hot tub or something. We can catch up.
All right, I'll go in my hot tub too, and then we'll FaceTime each other.
Yeah.
Sound good? That'll be perfect.
All right, buddy.
All right, see you, brother.
Thanks, Lonnie. See
All
you
right, later. Bye.
Five-Star Prime is brought to you by Squad Locker. Squad Locker is your one-stop shop for custom team apparel, delivered right to your front door. Learn more by visiting squadlocker.com.